Hello, this is Pilla Rajendra from Government Medical College, Mathani, West Pedappalli. Now, I would like to discuss about the tenses in English language. Tenses, we can say that tenses are the heart of the language, I think. That means if you want to uh, learn the language means for communication, and almost all English is considered as English is considered as a global language. In India, English is taught as a second language. We come to know that tenses are very important topic for learner of English language. So, when we go through with the tenses, according to English language, tenses are the forms taken by a verb to show the time of an action or the state of an event. So, what does tenses means? Tenses are by a verb to show action of the time. By a verb, some sentences which shows the action of time and the state of an event, whether it is past, present, or future. So, if you want to speak the language, uh, there is a grammar is most important for speaking language. Grammar means it's a systematical study of language. Grammar means it's a systematical study of language. Tenses are the most important for the learner of English language. Why? Because if you want to show any action or any event, if you want to discuss with the points of events that can be explained through past and present and future time senses. So, according to these time statements of events, we have to mention the actions and events which are undergone through the time phrases. Tenses are really they means as almost all we come to know that parts of speeches are most important for starting grammar points. Then we come to know that parts of speeches when we go through with the parts of speeches, there is a word called that means after learning parts of speeches there is a word called concord. Concord is a word which shows the agreement between the subject and the object. Concord is a word which shows an agreement between the subject and the verb. Sorry, it's not object, subject and the verb. So it is most important that the subject has to agree with the verb with the conquered word. If conquered is not prepared very well, for suppose if we take an example, there is a boy, there is a boy. So here it is a simple present tense sentence, and is a boy. is is a conquered. It has to be agree with the subject as well as the verb. It's just like a bridge between the verb and object. If we say that there are a boy, there are a boy. Or is a word which is represents the simple present tense, even though it is used for plural nouns. So is a word used for singular noun, or is a word used for plural noun, and it's all the present action, present event sentences. So what it may be according to these, when we move on to the topic of tenses, there are three kinds of sentences we can represent in English language. We can see in English language: the present tense and the past tense and the future tense. The present tense and the past tense and the future tense. Each of these three tenses has its four kinds of subdivisions to show continuity or completeness of an action and time, they are indefinite. Indefinite tense, it may be also called as simple tense. Then continuous or imperfect. Continuous, or which can also called as imperfect tense. Then we can see the third one, perfect tense. Then the fourth one is perfect continuous tense. So there are four subdivisions of the tenses in each three tenses. It shows the continuity or completeness of an action and the time. So they are simple and simple tense, which is also called as indefinite tense; continuous tense, which is also called as imperfect tense; then perfect tense and perfect continuous tense. Look at the table of English tenses. In the tense column, we can see the present, past, and future. And when we go through with the indefinite, which is a simple present tense, simple tense, and continuous tense, perfect and perfect continuous tense. In the simple present tense, just we will see a verb form here, that is play. Play and yes, plays. Play, for suppose play, they are they play cricket. They play cricket. It's a simple present tense. And she plays chess very well. She plays chess very well. Apostrophe s, that means in the brackets it shows yes means, as we all know that in simple present tenses, if we can have the subject as a third person singular, it can add yes or es to the main verb. Yes or es to the main verb. And for continuous tense, in the present tense, we can see is, am, are. Is for singular, am for I, and are for plural, playing. That means continuous form will be appear here in the verb as a verb. Perfect tense, we can say go through with have and has. Has for singular, have for plural, and verb form will be played V3. Played V3. For perfect tense, verb form will be appear in V3. And for perfect continuous, again, we can see have or has, and been playing. Been is a conquered word. It added some more meaning to the perfect continuous, playing. Then go through with the past, played. So it is V3, begin with simple. Past simple or past indefinite verb form will be played. Continuous, as we can say that B forms was, were. Was for singular, were for plural. Playing for continuous sentence. Had in perfect tense, it may be used for singular and plural as well as. And had been playing for past perfect continuous tense, had been playing. Then future, we can go through with shall or will. Shall or will, and we should be, verb form should be in first form like play. Will or shall, will, and play. For continuous, will or shall be playing. Be playing. We shall be playing cricket tomorrow by this time. We shall be playing cricket tomorrow by this time. Shall or will be playing. Future continuous action. And the perfect tense, will or shall, then go through with have played. V3 will be presented for the future perfect tense. So all the perfect tense maybe have future played, that means V3, and simple past tense will be have V3. Then will, shall, have been. Will or shall have been playing for the perfect continuous tense. Then regarding to this, we move on to the some of the tenses and how they are going to perform the action. So here, uh, when we move on to the topic of indefinite tense. Indefinite tense, which is also called as simple tense, indefinite tense, which is also called as simple tense. The indefinite tense does not indicate whether the action is complete or not. The indefinite or simple tense, we can say that it can indicate whether the action is completed or not. That means it is indefinite. That's why it is also a sentence which is called as indefinite tense. The continuous tense, which is also called imperfect tense, that action is still going on. That action is still going on at the time of speaking. The action still going on at the time of speaking. The perfect tense indicates the action is complete, finished, or perfect. The perfect tense indicates that action is complete and finished or perfect. And perfect continuous tense indicates the action began in the past and still continuing. The perfect continuous tense, which indicates the action began in the past and still continuing. These are the four subdivisions of tenses that can continue. And when you go through with the simple present tense, which is indefinite tense, indefinite, simple indefinite, indefinite present tense. We can see the structure of the sentences starts with the subject, verb with one, that means V1, V1, V2, V3. V1, V2, V3 means present tense, past tense, and perfect past participle. Present tense and past tense, then we can see the past participle. Before going to speak about the tenses, we should familiar with verb forms at first. If we can have a clear idea about the verb forms, like so there are so many regular verb forms we can come across in our language of day-to-day life. We can see it in our textbooks, we can see it in news channels, we can see in see it in newspapers. So try to know the real verb forms for including the tenses. So whether if you can go through with the V1, V2, V3. V1, V2, V3 means V1 is present tense, V2 is past tense, V3 is the past participle, and V4 we can discuss right now. It is with ing form, ing, ing for continuous tenses. For continuous, and we can see that continuous tenses and the perfect continuous tenses we can use ing form to the verb form. So verb. Go through with the simple present tense. Subject plus verb one and the object can be here. Expresses a general truth or an action that is occurring now. Expresses a general truth or an action that is right now occurring. The sun rises from the east. The sun rises from the east. So there are general truth is that sun rises from the east. So general truths and action that occurring now can be represented with simple present tense. Example, expresses an action that occurs regularly or habitually. That means habitual actions also represented here, and which happens regularly. That habitual action has to happen regularly, that can be presented in the simple present tense. She goes to the school regularly. And here, look at here, she goes to the school. When we go through with the verb forms, V1, V2, V3 about the go is the present form, present verb, and went is to the past verb, gone to the past participle. And here we can see the example, she goes. Goes means here, she is a third person singular. And as you know that third person singulars are he, she, it. He, she, it. These three words are third person singular. Then we come to know that verb form should continuously having yes or es. She goes to the school regularly. Go through with some more examples. The affirmative, which is also called as simple sentences, simple present tense, simple present sentences. They play. They play. For this sentence, we can add negative sentences. They do not play, because do is a verb, is a B form. That means that can be taken to the consideration for making a negative sense, because right now the action is going on, and the present continuous tense is most probably the present simple present tenses may consider with do, as we are all learned in interrogative sentences, making with anonymous verb forms. So interrogative sentence, do they play? Interrogative sentence of affirmatives, that means affirmatives, do they play? The negative interrogative sentences, do they not play? Negative Interrogative affirmative sentences, they do not say. Then the present continuous tense. In the present continuous tense, again, we can see the structure, the syntax of the present continuous tense should be subject plus is or am or are. Is for singular, am for I, or for plural. Plus V1 plus ing form. V1 plus ing form. That what we can say V3, but even though V4, but even though we have to continue with the V1 plus ing form for continuous tense, and plus we can add object at the end of the sentences. The present continuous tense is used to express an action which is happening at the particular time in the present or extending over a period of time. That means the present action can be continuous, which was started, and it was continuing for the period of present time, that can be shown in the present continuous tense. For example, uh, simple, for example, we can say sentence, you are playing, you are playing. For negative sentence, you are not playing, you can add negative meaning, not, you are not playing. For interrogative sentence, are you playing? For interrogative sentence, for continuation, simple present continuation, are you playing? The negative interrogative, you are not, sorry, are you not playing? Are you not playing? For the negative interrogative present continuous tense. Then go through with the perfect continuous perfect tenses. We can see the subject plus have plus had, have plus has plus V3. V3 means past participle. The verb form of the past participle can be presented here. Then object added at the end of the sentence. So here, has for singular, have for plural. Has for singular, have for plural. The present perfect tense denotes an action that was started in the past and has just begun, just been completed. So perfect tense means just completed actions can be shown in the perfect tenses. Try to know that just completed actions can be shown in the perfect tense. The present perfect tense denotes an action that was started in the last and has continued and completed just now. Just now actions can be presented in the perfect tense. So when we look about the sentences, I have played, I have, I have played. And for negative, I have not played. For negative, I have not played. Interrogative, have I played? Have I played? Perfect tenses. Perfect tenses in the present tense. Present perfect tenses. And I have not played. Have not played for negative interrogatives. Then perfect continuous tense, we can see the subject plus has, have, plus adding another be form, been here for continuous perfect continuous tense, plus v1 plus ing form. So here there is a doubt for the students. Most of the students, they can ask us about why we are able to use been, a be form in the perfect continuous tense. Means we are using v1 plus ing form. So as you know that the perfect tense, the verb it may consist with v3. Perfect tense, the verb may be consist with v3. So here it is a perfect continuous tense. The verb should not go through with v3 plus ing form. V3 plus ing form. So v3 plus ing form can be not represented with the perfect continuous tense. So that's why we use being, a be form here, and we can go through with the verb 1, present tense plus ing form and object. The present perfect tense is used when an action that was started in the still in the past and still continuing. That means the action which was completed. That means an action which was started in the past and still continuing. The actions can be represented with the present perfect continuous tenses. And go through with the examples. We have been playing. We have been playing. That means the play has been started in the past. Still now it is going on. It's going on. It's continuing. So like that, we can say that we have been playing. For negative, we have not been playing. We have not been playing. Interrogative sentence, have we been playing? have we been playing, and negative interrogative, have we not been playing. Negative interrogative is have we not been playing. And simple past tense, it's a very simple to understand, because subject, then V2, and object. V2 means past tense can be, past tense of the verb form can be represented here. Past tense of the verb form can be represented here in the simple past tense. The simple past tense is used for an action which happened at a particular time in the past. So all the past actions can be represented in the past tense, as you know that. The simple past tense is used for an action which happened to a particular time in the past, which was happened in the particular time, the past. That shows in simple past tense. For example, I played. I played means the action is completed. I played. For negative, I did not play. For negative, I did not play. And for interrogative, did I play? For negative interrogative, did I not play? Did I not play? Did is used for saying about the anonymous verb form, and making it as a interrogative or negative or whatever may be, interrogative or negative interrogative. Then go through with the past continuous tense. Past continuous tense is also having the structure. The syntax should be subject, then was, were. For past tenses, we use was, were plus V1 plus ing form and object. V1 plus ing form for continuous. V1 plus ing form for continuous, and adding object at the end should be represented past perfect, past continuous tense. Was is used for singular, and were is used for plural tense. Was is used for singular, were is used for plural tense, plural of the subject. The past continuous tense is used for an action which was happening at a particular point of time in the past. So the past continuous tense is used for an action which was happening at the particular time. That means all the past actions get represented with the past tenses, and the past continuous tense is an action which was happening at a particular time in the past should be presented with continuous. Particular time, from to, should be presented with continuous tense. For example, we can say that boys were playing. Boys were playing. Look at here, boys is a plural of the subject. Then we go through with the plural of B form, were. If it is singular, then we can go through with was. She was playing. She was playing. She was playing means she is a singular. Then we can go through with the was for continuous or past tense, denoting the past tense. Boys were not playing with the negative sentence. Boys were not playing. Were the boys playing? Were the boys playing at that particular time? It is interrogative sentence. Negative interrogative sentence, were the boys not playing? Negative interrogative sentence is were the boys not playing. Subject, that means here when go through with the past perfect tense, subject plus had should be presented, and V3 for perfect and object will be at the end of the sentence. Subject plus had and V3. V3 is normally used for denoting perfect tense. Then the past perfect tense is used to express an action that was completed before another action started in the past. So the past perfect tense is used to express an action that was completed before another action started in the past. So representation of two actions, one is already started and completed. One is completed. When one action is completed, one action was completed, then another action was started. The two actions, it is used with the earlier of the two actions, and a simple past tense is used with the other action. Simple past represented with other action. That means if we can say that if we want to represent two past action, if we want to represent two past actions, one action should be past perfect tense, another action should be in the simple past. So that we have to notice clearly, and students should not forget about this importance of the past perfect and simple past. Try to understand once again, which I would like to explain clearly. Past perfect tense and simple past tense, we have to show the two actions. So two actions were completed, and the first action is going to first when the first action is completed, and the second action has to be begun. The second past action has to begin. So in simple way, one was started long ago and it was completed, and at the time of completion of the first action, second action has to begin. So that's why first sentence should be in the past perfect tense, and the second sentence should be represented with simple past tense. So there are two actions represented in the past perfect tense. Sheila had played. Sheila had played. Sheila, that means past perfect tense, we can go through with only the be form had, for singular or plural, whatever it may be. Sheila had not played for the negative sentences. Had Sheila played? Negative interrogative sentence. Negative interrogative sentence is, interrogative sentence, had Sheila played. And negative interrogative sentence, had Sheila not played. So go through with the past perfect continuous tense, and so we can go through with the syntax of the past perfect continuous tense is the same format that what we can learn in the present tense. Subject plus had. Had is represented for the past action, sorry, perfect action, and been for continuation, and V1 plus V1 plus inform plus object. V1 plus inform plus object can be presented here. The past action continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense is used for an action that began before a certain point in the past and continued up to the point. Continued up to the point. So the past perfect continuous tense is used to show an action which began at a certain point and continued up to the certain point, that can be represented through past perfect continuous tense. Ria had been playing. Ria had been playing. Had is a past denoting the perfect tense, and being used for continuous, and playing is V1 plus ing form. V1 plus ing form. For negative sentence, Ria had not been playing. Ria had not been playing. For interrogative, had Ria been playing? Had Ria been playing? For negative interrogative, had Ria not been playing? For negative interrogative, Ria had not been playing. For simple future tense, subject and for syntax, we can go through with the subject or will or shall. And students might be confused all the time whether we have to go through with using be form will or shall in denoting future sentences. So it's very simple. Will is used for plural and shall is used for singular, and most probably it's not the right way, I think, but whatever may be, we can use both. There is no difference. I shall or I will come tomorrow, I shall come tomorrow. There is no a big problem while using will or shall as a be form for denoting future tenses. And for subject plus V1, that means will or shall plus V1 plus object can be represented in the simple future tense. The simple future tense is used for an action that will take place at a particular time in the future. So all the future actions can be represented with future tenses. So simple future tense is used for an action that will take place in particular time in the future. Then go through with the examples. Ravi will play. Ravi will play for positive sentence and affirmative, which can be also said as a declarative sentence. For negative sentence, Ravi will not play. For negative sentence, Ravi will not play. Interrogative sentence. For interrogative sentence, will Ravi play? Will Ravi play? For negative interrogative, will Ravi not play? Will Ravi not play? Future continuous tense, which is having the syntax of a subject plus will or shall. Then be can be represented with V1 and plus ing form and object. Ing form plus object. The future continuous tense is used to express an action which will be in the progress at the particular time in the future. The future continuous tense is used to express an action which will be in the progress at the particular time in the future. So subject plus will or shall plus be. Be is represented as a be form. Then be1 plus ing form for the continuous and object. For example, we can see that I will be playing. I will be playing. Then negative, I will not be playing. For negative, I will be not playing. For interrogative, shall I be playing? Shall I be playing? So the interrogative sentences cannot begin with will. Interrogative sentences, all the interrogative sentences in the future tense will not begin with the will. Simply we have to start with shall. Shall I be playing? The negative interrogative is shall I not be playing? Shall I be not be playing? Then future perfect tense subject, we can see the subject and shall I will plus have for perfection, and it can be used for singular as well as plural, and V3 can be represented for the perfect denoting the perfect tense, and then after object. The future perfect tense is used to indicate the completion of an action by a certain period of time in the future. The future perfect tense is used to indicate the completion of action by the certain point or certain period of the time in the future can be represented for future perfect tense. She will have played. She will have played for the affirmative sentence, declarative sentence, and for negative, she will not have played. For negative, she will not have played. For interrogative sentence, will she have played? Will she have played? Will she have played? Then for negative interrogative, will she not played? Will she not have played? Will she not have played? Perfect continuous, future perfect continuous tense. You can see the subject shall or will plus have been, V1 plus ing form and object. Have been is used here. Have used for perfect tense and been used for continuous tense. The future perfect tense is used. The future perfect continuous tense is used when an action is to continue up to a certain point of time in the future. Action has to be continue up to the certain point of the future, and which start an action which starts in the future and continued in the future in a certain point that can be represented. That means the action which will begin in future and continued in the future can be represented with past perfect tense. Raju will have been playing. Raju will have been playing. Raju, for negative sentence, Raju will not be have been playing. Raju will not have been playing. For interrogative sentence, will Raju have been playing? Will Raju have been playing? For in negative interrogative, will Raju not have been playing? Will Raju not have been playing? Can be shared here. So from this, I would like to conclude my session about the tenses. Thanking you.